Like, you know, and sometimes and it's like sometimes you can be that nice and you know that you need to be mean, but you just don't want to be mean because you're that nice, if it makes sense. Hello my babies and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Yeah. Y'all. So basically, in my last video, okay, you know, it's doing pretty well. By the time you guys get this video right here, I don't know how, you know, much better the video will be doing, but as of right now, it's doing very good. And that's a good thing, but it's a bad thing because the voiceover on that video is so ass. Like, or whatever. I don't know if y'all will be able to tell, but they weren't bad or whatever until my second watch day, which I will see later. But that's the voiceover from the fucking video. That's the fucking voiceover. And I can't even fucking explain myself because, bitch, one, it didn't sound that bad while I was editing. Let me just be for real. It didn't sound that bad while I was editing. And me being me, y'all see my channel. If you're new here, just go scroll through my content real quick and see the kind of numbers my videos do. Bitch, I literally get barely any traction on this app. And it doesn't bother me because obviously I'm still pumping out fucking content for whoever the fuck watches it. I'm doing this shit for me. But what gets me is that the video with the worst quality voiceover is getting pushed by the fucking algorithm. YouTube, if you hate me, you could just say that. Like, what is up with all the subliminals? Like, girl, I just want to take the time to apologize again for anybody who sat through and endured that torture. One, I appreciate it because you didn't have to do that to your ears. Two, I'm so sorry and I have learned and it will never happen again. On to today's video. Today's video is the video that has been talked about and talked about and talked about. Chaotic Self-Love Tips 3. This is it. It's here. And bitch, we're gonna do this while I get ready because I don't know. I just need to be doing something because obviously it wouldn't be chaotic if there is no chaos. So just to jump right into it, this tip is standing up for your fucking self and not feeling guilty about it, okay? Yeah, I know. It's hard. It is hard to stand up for yourself and not feel bad about it because you don't want to be an asshole or you don't want to be mean or you don't want anybody to see you any kind of way, whatever, blah, 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 bitch. At the end of the day, you need to protect you. I just gave this whole speech literally, and that's what the irony of this tip is for me. I just gave this fucking tip to my boyfriend last night. I gave him this whole speech about being unapologetically you and just standing up for your fucking self. Cause bitch, you just got to start small. Start in small situations, you know, like a comment or, you know, a gesture or something that somebody has done to or said to make you feel out of place and uncomfortable or whatever. That's something small. Address it. Because once you address it, once you get into the habit of addressing small things, you'll build the confidence and it won't be so much of a problem to address bigger things as far as like setting whole boundaries in relationships, or setting whole boundaries in just any connection that you have with anybody. Like, I get it. Just like everything else in life is easier said than done. But you got to keep in mind that you got to start somewhere. And that goes for anything and literally everything. You got to start somewhere. And if not now, then when? It's like one thing that you can keep in mind, I guess, like if it is hard for you, is that you have to remind yourself that you're worth protecting. Because I know that, you know, we go through things in life and like things happen to us and stuff. And maybe, you know, we've just been subconsciously taught that because nobody else stood up for me or because nobody else really like took my feelings seriously, that I shouldn't because obviously I'm not worth it, and that's not true. I know it can be hard, especially if it's something that you're not used to doing, because, you know, obviously if you were used to doing it, it wouldn't be a problem. But it's like, you gotta understand that you deserve love. Like, especially if you're the type of person that's always giving to other people, you gotta understand that you can't keep giving and not getting anything back. And even if nobody else is giving you something back, you gotta try to give it to yourself, because at the end of the day, you still need it, you know? You also shouldn't look at yourself as like weak or incapable or whatever just because right now you're currently not standing up for yourself. That doesn't mean that. Like, you just have to teach yourself how to, and you have to understand that you have the capability of teaching yourself how to do it. You can teach yourself how to do anything as if you actually really put your mind to it. Like, if you step out of the fear of doing it, it'll be easier to see that it's really not that hard. And it's like, I can say that I've struggled with this, but not really on like such a big scale, because I don't know, I'm just a defensive person, and it's like, I need to say this in a way so that it makes sense. It's like, it can go one or two ways. I feel like this is just based off of my personal experience and people that I've met in my life. It seems like when people grow up feeling like, you know, they weren't properly protected or their emotions weren't properly addressed, it's like they either turn into a person that just overlooks themselves all the time because everybody around them has always done it, or they turn into a person that is very hard on their boundaries because nobody has ever respected them. And I'm the second one. Like, it takes a millisecond for me to decide whether or not I'm gonna cut somebody off or not. And I think about the aftermath of doing it later. I don't care. You disrespect me, you step on me, you shit on me, you're done. Like, you're done. You're done. Like, what else is there to talk about? What else is there to say? What else is there for me to care about? And it's like, that's just how I kind of turned out. And like, I don't want to like shit on my entire childhood, like, oh, nobody was there for me and anything like that. Like, that's not the case. It's just, because I still am. So I'm like, I was and I am a very sensitive person. Like, I was a very sensitive child, and I'm still a very sensitive person. And it just seemed like my sensitivities were never taken super seriously. It was like I was just always pushed to just keep going. Like, there's no time to cry about, there's no time to be upset. That's just my perspective of my childhood. And because of that, it's made it hard for me to give myself the grace and the space to let things out when I need to. Like, I literally only started doing it as of the past year. Like, literally. And I mean, not trying to be mean, but it's because I'm in my own space now. So now I have the room to do it without ridicule. So it's like, that is what's been making it easier for me to just, this upset me, I just need to cry, I just need to breathe, and then I can keep going. Because sometimes that's all it takes, is just a second. I just need a second to register what the fuck is going on, and then I can keep going. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like for me, when it comes to like, you know, removing people and setting boundaries that way, it's easier for me to do it out of anger. Like, let me just say that. And doing it out of anger, no, it's not a good thing. I'm not condoning how I live life or whatever. Like, and I'm working on it. I'm working on not doing it out of anger and just doing it out of respect and love for myself. And it takes a minute to get there, because I mean, shit, I'm gonna be fucking 25 next month, and I've only started doing this in this healthier way as of the past year. So it's just like, it takes time. But because it takes time, you have to love yourself through all of this time. Because if you're being hard on yourself and you're being impatient with yourself, you're not ever going to really get to where you want to be, because you're too busy beating yourself down for where you're at right now. And that it doesn't work that way. It's okay that it doesn't work that way. Like, one thing about it, like, because again, I'm just speaking, I can only speak from my personal experience. I have a problem with control, and that makes it hard for me to live life, because as we all know, you cannot control what the fuck happens in life, in this universe, whatever. We cannot fucking control it, okay? So with me having a problem with control, I've had to learn to just step the fuck back and just do what's best for me, because the only thing that we can control is what happens right now in this moment. And I know that if you've watched any of my other videos of, like, you know, any of my other chaotic self-love tips videos, they kind of all sound the same, but it's because all of it bleeds together. Like, all of it just fits. And it's like, so it's like they might sound a little different or a little tweaked here and there, but it's just like, at the end of the day, they're all gonna do this. All you can do is love yourself. Even if you don't love yourself for real, just pretend like you love yourself, because, excuse me, that's the only thing that you can really, like, have full control over. And it's like, why be hard on yourself in a world where everything is already hard? Like, and again, easier said than done. And I'm one to talk, because shit, I'm still hard on myself, because I'm still human and I still have my days. But it's just like, I try to keep everything that I'm saying, I try to say all these things to myself, because I'm working on how I feel about myself. Like, yeah, I love myself, but at the same time, keeping up with loving yourself can be hard, especially when you're not used to it. Okay, I'm not used to loving myself. I've only just been fully in love with myself for a year. So yes, it's going to be hard, because it's just like being in any other relationship. If you want the relationship to work, you're going to do what it takes to make it work. You have to want to be in love with yourself, because then you're going to do whatever it takes to stay in love with yourself. In order to do that, you have to remind yourself that you're worth being in love with, because you're you know? It's like, yes, I'm not saying, oh, you know, kiss your own ass and just walk around here like you're just this most perfect person in the world. You're not, okay? You're not. Nobody is. But you can be the best you that you can be if you love yourself enough to become it. You have to be able to be truthful with yourself. You have to be able to talk hard to yourself, not downplay yourself. There's a difference between constructive criticism and bullying yourself. You're not supposed to be bullying yourself, but it is okay to look back and be like, yeah, I don't need to be doing that no more. That is really wrong. That's really fucked up. And doing what you can to fix that or whatever. There's a difference. It's just like, at the end of the day, I guess the biggest thing is just to understand that everything takes time. And because we don't have control over time, just be patient, because you deserve patience, and you deserve love, and you deserve kindness and grace and all those good things. You deserve it, but you have to remind yourself that you deserve it, because if you don't, then you're never really going to be able to set the proper boundaries in order to make sure that you get it from outside people. It's like, you have to give it to yourself first, and you know, learn how to give it to yourself, know how to give it to yourself. That way it's easier for you to communicate when you meet other people. And that way, if they, you know, if they're a good person and they want to be connected with you, love you, care about you properly, you can communicate to them what you need, and then they can give it to you, and then it just works, you know? Just don't think it's going to be easy, because it's not. Like, it's not. It's not. It's literally not. Well, that's pretty much the end of it. I'm all dressed and stuff now, and like, I don't really know how to wrap this up, because when I tell you I could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk for hours and hours and hours, I literally can. And I don't really, you know, have the time to be doing that right now, and I don't feel like editing hours and hours and hours of footage, not gonna lie. But yeah, I just hope that out of everything I said, I hope something stuck, and I hope that everything I said made sense and was like easy to understand and everything, because I don't know, I feel like everybody deserves a chance to just be loved properly by themselves and by other people. Everybody deserves a chance. So in this case, I just want you to know that at the very least, you deserve a chance, and I want you to give yourself that chance. And I don't know. I believe in you, and I know that you can. And with all that being said, I hope for the most part that everything is going well with you guys. And if not, that's okay. You'll get through it. And as long as you love yourself through it, you'll learn to manage it. If it does seem like it's taking a long time to get better, trust me, I know how that is, because I'm doing that right now, basically just trying to just love myself through this whirlwind that I'm coming out of for the most part. So yeah, but anyway, I love you guys, and I want you to love yourselves and drink water. Bye.